What are secrets among your profession that the general public is unaware of? Recruiter here: some companies don't want to hire old people. I am a lawyer. Yes. We know our adversary. Yes. We will be chummy and joke around with him/her before the judge walks in. Yes. I'm still advocating for you against my adversary. That some public defenders do a really great job and some private defense attorneys a really poor one. That what you pay for and what you get in legal representation often has no connection. Sometimes students are given a better grade than they should because we are too tired to really give a shit anymore. Sometimes they are given a worse grade because of this. But those teachers suck. Airline pilot here. You know those blankets that we give you on the flight? The airline never washes them. Ever. We just shake them out and shrink wrap them for a later flight. Every once in a while we toss one that's unusable. We are being timed at the drive-thru. Please be considerate for the other customers. I feel I'm trapped in a corner when a customer does not know what they want and forces me to remake their drink several times while there is a line in the drive-thru. I've been a waiter for a long time and the general public has no idea how many times I've seen my co-workers come in drunk as hell but still make it through a shift and have no one notice. There's also at least a 60% chance that your bartender has snorted sugar in the last 8 hours. Coast Guard, please. For the love of God, stop doing stupid things in bad weather. I work at a pizza place. The more items you get on your pizza, the fewer of each item you will get while still being charged the same price per item. I am a young female in an assisted living home. Men may become wheelchair bound, unable to speak or hear, but there is always one body part that still works. People sometimes die in hotel rooms. As soon as the body is out, we clean the room and put it back out for rent. Doesn't happen often. But there's a chance your bed had a dead person in it less than 2 hours before you checked in. Combat medic. Not so much a secret but a key to being a lazy piece of it in a generally high stress job is to teach the boots to do your job for you. Essentially making everyone a medic in all but the most advanced stuff so they still have a reason to keep you around. Former ballet dancer. Here, it's a total it job. At least in the USA. Only large, internationally renowned companies pay well enough to live off of. Everyone else gets paid like $20k a year. And some are even worse and only pay per performance. You need to either be supported by your parents, spouse or work a side job. Or 2. You only have a contract for 1 season. Usually August, May or so. And there is no guarantee that there will be a spot for you in the company the next year. If you get injured or get fat, you're probably going to get fired. I work in technical support. The vast majority of the time I know the fix immediately and it's something I deal with a dozen times a day. If I say I need to put you on a quick hold whilst I research that, it means I'm googling the answer to your problem. If I say I need to put you on hold for a few minutes, it means I'm asking a coworker if they know what the answer is. If I say I need to call you back because I have to research more, it means none of us has any ducking idea what the issue is and I'll actually have to do some real work. Also, stop blurting out your passwords to me. I don't need to know what it is. Nobody does. If I need to log into your account, I'll just ask you to type it when I remote into your machine. If you can't get in, I'll reset it to something else and we'll deal with the password change later. If you see rabbits or chickens at a zoo, they're food. Former nuclear engineer. It's actually pretty slow and boring. I am unemployed. I get high and write haikus. Somebody has too. I'm a Zamboni operator and most people don't know that we use hot water when shaving the ice. Software engineer. Literally everything is hanging by a thread and it's amazing the internet hasn't fallen apart completely. Call center technical support. The surveys you're sometimes asked to fill out are kinda bulletin that anything below 100% counts as a fail. Some are slightly more forgiving, but usually not by a whole lot. So people who give you anything less than a perfect score for petty reasons like everyone can improve or I don't like the hold music are actively hurting you and might in the long run cost you your job. Vehicle assembly. Whatever you're driving contains a lot more zip ties than you would expect. Especially if it's a lorry. Largest secret of my profession are how completely understaffed the 911 communication center is. Most of the time when you call 911, that person is also doing 3 other things at the same time. They are normally doing the job of 2 other people, and probably trying to get in a slightly warm meal also. 911 dispatchers don't care what you took to get high. Just tell us so we can help you. We do care about how you sustained that trauma injury though. Not only to help treat you but to keep the responding units safe. Most large cities are now switching to a system to evaluate the patient over the phone so we don't send an ambulance and a fire truck to every single call. So facts are important when calling. NASA engineer here. Y'all don't know anything. We don't really check if we have any more in the back. We just go back there so we can chill for like 5 minutes. Even if it's a nice vet clinic. Sometimes doggy daycare is just putting your dog in a very small kennel with a bowl of water. Most of the time booking through a third party isn't saving you any money and can actually duck you over if there's a problem with your room during your hotel stay. RN, former EMT, if you go into cardiac arrest you're probably gonna die. My state has some of the best revival rates in the country and they are only like 15% if medical personnel witness the arrest. Reality TV is anything but. Ever seen House Hunters on HGTV? The couple looking for a house actually already bought and live in one of the houses that they're looking at. The other houses are usually friends' houses, or houses that have sold but not closed or moved in yet. I work at a public library, at least where I work. We don't keep any record of what items you've checked out or look up so that there's nothing to turn over to law enforcement. We also won't turn over any personal contact information to law enforcement without a warrant. And even then, we make them go through our IT department and they are known to make a big production out of everything, easily wasting everyone's time. You are safe at a public library. Ask about anything without fear. I'm not sure if this is a super secret, but there seems to be this idea that libraries are secretly tracking and judging and that's just not true. If I can help an old man find YouTube videos of black women shaving their legs, I am pretty sure I can help you find your Amish romances without judgment. Janice. Field repairs may consist of taping parts of the plane back on. Don't worry, it's very good tape. If a stripper tells you their real name, it's almost certainly a secondary fake name to give you a false sense of trust and personal connection, so that you're more likely to spend money on them. I Google tons of things. I can't possibly remember how to do every feature of every application. Word, Excel, Visio, Win 7, 8, 10, REMR, 25 other online applications, Firefox, Chrome, IE, Outlook, etc. I do IT support. Grocery retailer. If your card is declined at my register, it's not going to undecline at the next register. I hope to God that truly isn't a secret. We offer to carry your bags to your car so you won't leave your cart in the parking lot. We eat and take home your returns. Full stop. In a restaurant, whenever you ask your server to double check with the chef, even after we've told you that something can't be exchanged swapped changed as it's the middle of the service and we're full, we might go into the kitchen but most don't ask the chef. A lot of the time, the answer's a flat no followed by a lot of swearing from the chef due to stress. I work as a lab tech in a private environmental lab company. We mainly get samples from the government and a couple of other private companies. The instruments that we use to test for contaminants in the samples we received are ducking ancient. There's some stuff that's 20 plus years old that we are currently using to test on your drinking water and your soil. When those instruments start ducking up on us, we either Mickey Mouse the issue or we have our old in-house mechanic of all things guy find a better, more reliable way to Mickey Mouse the problem. Also, we have Jimmy rigged fume hoods that don't really work as well. Literally the lab is just falling apart just like the instruments. Also, our software and hardware is old AF. Like we're talking about Windows 98. We're still using floppy disks to handle all your results of your samples. Old. We even have the fat desktop computer monitors as well. High school teacher. Sometimes, on really tiring and long days during lecture, We sometimes lose our place or forget the right words, but we know there's a smart kid out there who does know. Instead of embarrassingly scrambling for notes, high schoolers smell fear and will pounce on you if you show it. We'll say some bullet like, "And so when we take this factor we dot what? Anybody know?" Yes, Megan. What's the answer? It may look like we're prodding students to pay attention and reinforce learning, which is a tactic often used. But a good portion may be that we just had a brain fart or downright forgot and need help without losing attention. P.S. Before anyone jumps on it, yes, teachers are human and we act so with our students. It's not a matter of academic arrogance and being wrong in front of them. That happens and it's okay. This is an example of days where patience is thin and student comment is not needed. IT engineer here. We know what you do on your PC. When you call the IT support hotline, 50% of the time we're just googling the issue that you're experiencing. I deliver pizza and once I took a piss in the bush outside the apartments at night before taking the pizza to the door. Don't trust the delivery boy. I'm a line cook at a very nice restaurant. We are all drug doing. Tattoo covered. Alcoholics. Well, not all but most. I've met so many people who are shocked when I tell them where I work based on my looks. Still in grad school becoming an ecologist conservationist but have worked in a wildlife rehab center. We are all major animal lovers but our job sometimes consists of killing animals. Sometimes a lot of them. That waiver you are signing practicing any leisure is useless. The company is responsible for your safety. However, there is a clause called risks inherent to the practice of activities, which means you cannot sue for a fracture playing hockey, but can definitely sue in case of equipment or human failure. Cocktails are super easy to make. No experience at all is necessary if you just want to make them at home for guests. Most of them are just the ingredients thrown into a shaker and shaken over ice, and the shaker can be 2 cups jammed together. The ice forces the ingredients together. Plus, most cocktails you'll end up drinking are the same few alcohols, paired with a non-alcoholic ingredient and usually a slightly more uncommon alcohol. Note the slightly. What you're really paying for when you buy a cocktail is an attractive person, or sometimes non-attractive. Hi, to make it for you. Present and garnish it so it's Instagrammable and usually to not have to buy an entire bottle of a more obscure liquor. Plus to do it really fast. I blame bloggers for this. They keep trying to spruce up recipes and make them more complicated than they need to be. Acute. It kinda blows my mind when friends want to have a cocktail night or something but don't want to spend money going to bars. For the price that they'd all spend on the cocktails, they could buy enough bottles of grog to make dozens of them. My parents used to be serial offenders of this. They'd go out to try the cocktails, but not realize that their alcohol cabinet had all the stuff they needed to make a super decent one of whatever they wanted. Teachers never grade all the work. Counselor, we aren't rent-a-friends. The milk you're drinking is not from cows. It's from my wife. Third-party booking sites for hotels save you no money. Might even cost more. They're all generally owned by Expedia too, even though they're different names. Probably too late, but I work for a political party at the state level. If you have ever donated any amount of money to a political candidate or organization, the party knows and records everything about you that they can get their grubby little hands on. There are full-time employees and interns that spend hours and hours every day doing extensive donor research. I work at a health food store. Half the time I do not know what the hell kinda herb you are talking about or if it is gonna cure your crazy ass ailment. I don't want to show you where the homeopathic medicine is because I think it's bullet. Bottom line is eat better, exercise and see a doctor if you are really sick. There are some basic remedies and fun things to play witch doctor with, but go to the hospital if you feel like you're dying. And most of the time I'll tell you what's bullet unless you're rude or ridiculously stubborn. I'm a cashier, about to be a key holder. 1. We track your every move if we think you're stealing. And no, we don't think everyone steals. We aren't randomly sweeping at the aisle you're on almost every single time you walk in the door. 2. If you're an asshole, every employee knows by the end of the week. 3. Also relates to 2. Since everyone knows what you've been saying, we're keeping heavily aware of what words come out of your mouth. And if you're really being rude or acting like a pig, the managers are hiding on an aisle listening for you to slip up so you can be kicked out. 4. If you ask us to hold an item, we will. Seriously, if a sale is happening Friday and you find an item in said sale on Wednesday, give it to us and we'll put it in the back for you. 5. Related to 4. If your item keeps flying off the shelves, just tell us. Once we get it off the truck, we'll hold it for you to buy. We held 10 boxes of cookies for a man because we kept running out and he was obsessed with them. 6. At least at my place of work, if you're short by a few cents or if I seriously do not want to break your $20 over 3 acute, we'll take it out of the donation drawer. Donations goes back to the company's admin. If we have it. Edit. Aisle. Not aisle. Sorry. Dyslexic. Behind every biomedical advance is a mountain of small, furry animal carcasses. I work at the local fast food hamburger place, and whenever we run out of hamburgers we just run over to the McDonald's and just start serving everybody McDonald's. We put a new wrapper on it and nobody can tell the difference. I used to work in collections. If you're late for a bill, don't worry until the letters stop coming from the company you owe money to. Also, tell them first and always be nice. There's always a way around it. We don't want to send things further unless you're a total prick who calls up and yells at us because they can't pay their bill. When I worked in retail, customers always seemed to be under the impression that, no matter your role within a retail business, whether it be on the checkouts or stock control, a lot of people tend to believe that if you work in a supermarket, you should know every single bit of information when it comes to nutritional value about every single item. Used to do my head in. Security officer here. If I think you're stealing it, all you have to do is run and you're in the clear, since we're not allowed to detain or chase people depending on the location. All I can do is write down details of your appearance and then hand the details over to police and let them hunt you down. I honestly hope I never have to deal with someone who tries to steal and then when they get caught try to play the victim.